Go.
Hey guys, welcome back to the
Don't fuck it up again.
Off the Script podcast. We're on episode number 4 of the 2020 series. I'm Joseph / JZ Bodybuilding, joined by my co-host Jermaine Sully. Special guest today goes by many names, the Hasseltoft, Matt Tofton.
I've not heard these before.
Joe has a thing where at the start of every time we have a guest on, he'll just come up with a bunch of nicknames that no one had before. He's just making up on the spot. And everyone has the same reaction. They're like, what?
Yeah, what's going on here?
But what did you call Cuba when he came on?
Cuba, the discount code king.
Oh, yeah, discount code, yeah. He
hasn't got a nickname, so...
Right, let's get back on track then. So we have a special guest today. Matt Tofton, would you like to introduce yourself, Matt?
Yeah, as the guy say, I'm Matt. I am an amateur bodybuilder, a gym owner, and a online coach, prep coach, PT. I've been competing since 2012, so what are we now, 7 years in.
Wow.
I own a gym called Muscle Flex, which is situated in Grimsby. It's also where Tim, obviously, who's not here yet.
Yeah.
Also sponsored for the Barbarian this year, right?
Yeah, we're the main sponsors. I was the main sponsor last year as well, but that was a gym I previously owned. But I'll sort of do anything to support bodybuilding, especially in the local areas. So yeah, we're sponsoring the overall.
All right, fantastic.
We had Sam on last week.
We did, yeah. We had Sam on, and he was just talking us through the Barbarian as well. So that'll be something I'll definitely be at. So I might actually get a chance to meet you in person, Matt, as well, while I'm down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I went home after the bodybuilding, but it was a very good show. There was some very good athletes here, considering I didn't think a lot of people would actually come to Grimsby.
Yeah.
It is out of the way, and especially around the time. I think if it was a bit later on, you've got a few people. But after the British finals, I think it only just been for the NAB.
Yeah.
So a lot of them guys came, and the standard was actually really good.
Yeah. From what I've seen as well, like Sam has a good knack for just pulling some talent. Like the person who won the overall, of course, ended up becoming a pro like a month or something later. And then who did he have guest post? Luke Sander guest posting as well, didn't he? So,
yeah, Luke guest post. I think he was 12 weeks out from the Olympia, so that was
that's sick. Yeah,
that was something special. And he
yeah.
12 weeks out. He looked a bit leaner than that, to be fair. And Luke put on a really good show. It did turn into a very strange sort of shirts-off competition just after that. But Luke ended up emceeing, and that was one of the bizarre things I've ever seen at bodybuilding.
It does come across as like a very laid-back environment, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, I think especially with being in Grimsby, it was a lot of people as the first bodybuilding show they've actually come to. So I think they'd have gone away having a good experience. Because it was, like, he's not a very good comedian, but he did try, Sam. But I think
there's some charm. Yeah.
He was good. He was good at the mic, and I think people went away from it thinking hopefully there'll be another one, and obviously there is. And I think this one will be even bigger. And technically, he's probably pulled in an even bigger name this year. I mean, and obviously, I mean, in terms of like actual status being the reigning.
Yeah, definitely. Kamal's been doing a bunch of tours, hasn't he, the past couple of months as well? So he's a commodity for sure.
Yeah, and I think I was there at the Olympia last year, and he was insane. So I hope he'll be in good nick for the guest spot as well.
Yeah. So coming back to you, how old are you now, Matt? If you don't mind me asking. 30. So you've been competing since you were 23.
Yeah, I got the last year of juniors.
Okay.
Yeah, my first show was the UK BFF Northeast in Leeds junior show.
Right.
That show actually, I think that was Anth Bales' first UK BFF show.
Oh, okay.
It was also Sassan's first UK BFF show.
Wow.
I think Yeah, I think Ant won the heavyweights, but he didn't win the overall. He was beaten in the overall by Ricardo Correa, who's Rude Boy, whatever. Who's now pro. Ant then went and turned pro only a few months later. Yeah. Sassan's obviously a pro now.
Seems like quite the stacked show then.
It was a really good show, actually. Yeah, I think that was the year that Luke came onto the scene as well, because I won the show. I won my category, and I ended up started looking. It was the first. I'd never really sort of been into the amateur scene at all, really.
Yeah.
Then that was when you start doing the thing where you start looking on Instagram. Well, yeah, it was Instagram around then, or Fate. Yeah, I think Instagram was there.
Yeah.
You start looking, who am I going to go up against in the finals?
Yeah.
And then I saw a video of someone who just won the London show, and that was James Hollingshead.
Cool.
And there's another kid who just done his first show, and that turned out to be Luke Sando.
Wow.
But he ended up being too old to actually.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
The British final.
Yeah.
I think James came second actually that year actually. But yeah, I didn't have a clue what I was doing for the first show. I literally, I was the person who was just reading stuff on the internet.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it, like forums, anything. I ended up cutting water on the Friday night, and the show was on the Sunday.
Okay.
I literally winged it, and I think, and then of that show they had a morning show and then an evening show, whereas they're all sort of now. So I went all the way through till Sunday night.
Yeah.
Without any water.
Blew me.
I put 48 pounds on it 3 days.
What were you carbing up on?
Oh, nothing. This was post show. This was the rebound.
Oh, it was post. Yeah.
Well, the carb up, I shitloaded. So
right.
I put my water on Friday night, and then I think it was an article I read on T Nation, and it was just eating pizza and burgers. Well, that's not
exactly. Yeah, the pros are doing it.
And I've no water for 24 hours. And if you try and eat burgers and pizza and cheesecake, it's not easy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But I woke up absolutely bone dry, as you can imagine.
Wow.
But yeah, I look pretty ill.
That's how you know you're doing all right.
Yeah, I ended up winning the show, and then I couldn't even get rid of the rebound for the finals. It took more like the final was 5 weeks later, and I was still holding water. But so when I coach people, when I tell them, trust me, just stay off the food, off the shit food for the days. It comes from experience. Because I've been there. I've probably made all the mistakes and done the things that like most people shouldn't do, and that's just because I didn't do anything. The whole diet, it was literally nothing got measured in terms of actual weight. It was just one of, two of, one sweet potato, two sweet. It didn't even matter what size.
Fish and the rice cake.
Pretty much, it was just like one chicken breast or one tin of tuna, and then like one slice. I didn't weigh anything, and I was just winging it.
Basic as you can get, really.
Yeah. Hey, but if it works.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I probably couldn't even replicate it. You know, one of where the more you learn, sometimes like a little bit of knowledge gets dangerous, and you start to overthink things.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we'd all like to go back and sort of forget everything we know, because I didn't question anything. I'm just going to do this, and it's how I actually feel right now. Obviously, it's the first time I've had a proper coach in a number of years, and I'm just doing it. I'm not thinking, and it feels like it's the best progress I've made in a long time, because in terms of my own bodybuilding, I'm just on autopilot, just following instructions and not overthinking or not even thinking. I'm just doing.
Yeah. Wow.
And I think that's a lot of people end up coming unstuck. Like I have a question and everything.
Yeah.
Am I trying to come up with this perfect plan that they get caught up without actually doing
the nuance.
Yeah.
Caught up in all the I can't remember who said. I'm sure I said it probably in the last episode, but we were talking about what the beginners and a lot of people miss, and I think people they miss the big picture.
Yeah, definitely.
So they end up focusing on all the like little bits and pieces, and you're seeing that more and more now. I think especially like now there's a lot more information out there. People are going for like the smallest thing, but they're missing like the one big thing, for example, which is, look, to lose weight, you need to drop food. Like missing the simple stuff.
That's the thing. I mean, I think social media's probably got a lot to answer for that. But like I say, a lot of people are staying with, so many people are concentrating on that 5% that they're missing the 95%.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've made jokes out of it recently and stuff like that. I mean, and I know Cuba's one for it. Like, I see everyone in these like spectacles that are blocking.
The blue light blockers.
I know we're going to go Cuba about his little nasal strip, but to be fair, Cuba's one of those that can do that because he ticks every box, and then everything after that, they're not.
They're not the actual ones, are they?
No.
Okay, thank God.
But you've got people that they're skipping meals, and they're missing reps, or they're missing sessions, and then they're going home to post on Instagram that they've got these glasses, all these sleep apps, all these activity trackers that measure everything. But they're not doing the basic stuff. I think if everything's ticked, then those little things can be tiny percentages that might add up to being a little bit better. But if you're missing the main part, they're not going to help anything.
100%.
And I think a lot of times people just get confused. I mean, there's so much information out there. People just start getting confused. Like, you listen to someone who sounds very intelligent on Facebook, but he's really just an idiot. He's just using big words. Yeah. And then people think, oh, he sounds smart. I'm going to listen to him.
Yeah, just copy him.
And then people end up just getting sort of like baffled by bullshit, rather than just thinking, right, just stick to a plan and go towards the show. The goals get shredded, and let's just keep going until we're shredded, and then just push a bit harder, push a bit harder.
Yeah, 100%. I'm in a position now as well where, because I'm studying strength and conditioning as a degree, and sports nutrition as a degree. So now I'm in the place where I am trying to balance out the bro with the science aspect, and that, like, there's definitely a balance. It's not one or the other. Like, you do need like some basic science, that like the basic knowledge, like things that you have to do. But a lot of it, when it comes to bodybuilding, there's just no evidence to support anything anyway. Like, it's a lot of it is just like, you know,
most of the science-based stuff is all on untrained individuals anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you'll see a lot of things like half the time in bodybuilding, people are just proving what the bodybuilders have already known for 30 years. There's guys, they know how to build muscle, they know how to diet, and they're doing it day in, day out. But there might not be a specific reason or any evidence to support it. And then all of a sudden, 30 years later, someone's proven why, and it's like, well, I already knew that. I've been doing that for... And I think bodybuilders sort of... I think one of the sayings that I always like on the internet where it says, like, the skinny guys always want to see the studies, but the big guys just get up to the bar and work it out for themselves. It's that way, at the end of the day, they probably both come to the same conclusion.
Yeah.
But one of them's just doing it and just worked out, like, well, I've done this. And then someone will start putting, like, crazy formulas together, or you need to lift this amount of time. Like,
going off of RPE and percentages. And
I think the guys that are successful, they're just doing it. They're already doing it. They might not know why, it's just happening.
Yeah.
It's what I always say to you, and Jermaine, the stuff that has worked for like 60 years is not wrong. It can't be.
Like, it's worked for a reason. Like, it's still around, and people still do it today.
Yep.
Like, you know, you need to...
Nowadays, I think everything's changed because someone's got to sell something. I think that's the biggest reason why everything, all the training systems are coming out, because you can't sell something that people have been doing for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and it's more about marketing something that people want to think that they're about to buy into the secret.
Yeah.
And it's just not there. Yeah. It's just consistency over time.
Yeah,
Whether no matter what training system you pick to do, they all work. But it's about effort.
Yeah.
But I think too many people just want to believe, oh, there's definitely a secret.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what's their secret? What are they doing? What they're doing? And in the end, and I've been there, I think we've all been there. And through experience, you end up realizing that it's just time and effort and just doing it day in, day out.
Yeah.
I mean, I speak to clients all the time, and they say, "Oh, this training plan's not working." I say, "What do you mean?" "Oh, well, I'm not getting any bigger." So you've been on it 3 weeks. Yeah. I said, "Give it a year." Like, it's amazing. Like, even the most genetically gifted bodybuilders, like Phil Heath, was only putting on like 10 pounds a year, and he's supposed to be one of the greatest athletes to ever walk the planet. Yeah. But I've seen people that want 30 pounds in a month.
Yeah.
Well, you don't ever really notice muscle growth across. It's very. That's why I think a lot of people enjoy dieting, or you can you can track progress on a diet a lot more.
Yeah. You can see a lot more happening.
Body fat comes off very quick, and it's very motivating.
Yeah.
When you're in the off season, it's very difficult to spot like a pound of muscle, especially because it normally comes with 5 pounds of fat. Right. So you never. I think you just got to have a bit of faith. Like, do everything right.
Yeah.
Hope that
effort,
when you diet back down, it's going to turn into new muscle. Yeah. Because I just don't think you can track it.
Yeah. That's sort of because like post my competition season last year. Now though, all those pictures that I took over months and months and months are really paying off in terms of like my off season.
Yeah.
Progression, because I can now compare. Okay, last time I weighed this much when I was dieting down. How do I compare to that body weight? That's the only way I can feasibly think of, like, you know, it's the only thing that's sort of at the moment keeping my head screwed on for the off season. It's just seeing that, like, hey, I look better at this weight than last time I was this weight.
Yeah, I think that's why pictures are so important. And obviously having some data somewhere, whether you've got a coach and you can go back and check emails, or whether you just keep. I mean, for me, like, I just put my check-ins on Instagram. They're not really for anyone else. I don't generally engage on there, but I can literally scroll back the last probably 5 years, and you can see all your check-ins, and eventually you'll be able to. You can see patterns.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not necessarily about showing the world stuff. It's just sort of like a public photo album.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Do we want
to... What actually got you into training, Matt?
Well, I think I first went to the gym. I used to, like, when I was younger, I was a good footballer and I was a good tennis player. And I gave up. I used to play for, championship side back then. Obviously, they're not anymore. And I was on their books as a youth player. But I always threw a lot of opportunities away when I was a kid. I don't really like footballers, so I didn't like associating with them. But I continued playing as a youngster, and I ended up when I was at college getting sort of the semi-professional level. But I was 16, 17 years old, and I just stepped into the men's league, and just physically, I just didn't sort of match up. So I did actually start the gym just purely for performance reasons within the sport.
Yeah.
Ended up enjoying it, and then I went to actually first I went to University of Leeds to do sports science, but then I came home after a few months and ended up getting a job. Took up golf and didn't even go to the gym. And then a lot of my friends were going to university again in the summer, and I thought, I'm not really into this work stuff, so we'll go back to university and just have a bit of a laugh. Yeah. So I went to Lincoln University. I think on one of the open weekends we went to check out some gyms because I wanted to get back into the gym. And we went there. There was a supplement shop there. There was a guy who owned a supplement shop, and he was just a monster, 21 stone, just 22-inch arms, just huge. And it was a commercial gym. Yeah. It was called FitSpace, just like a standard, just a bit like a Total Fitness type thing.
Yeah.
But it was the ratios in there were so skewed in terms of men. It was just bodybuilders. Wow. It was, I think when we joined, it was about £12 a month.
Yeah.
And it was just full of bodybuilders. None of them were competitive. But like old guys that have been doing it. There was guys there that used to train with some of the top amateur bodybuilders in the country, like 10, 15, well, not 10, 15 years ago now, but then. And they're all training hard, like 30, 40, 50-year-olds, all in shape. None of them compete, but just being in that environment, I didn't necessarily want to be a bodybuilder. I just wanted to be massive. Inspired. Yeah, it was just being inspiring, being in that sort of environment, just watching everybody. So I started sort of talking to the right people, and I'd spend all my time just on the internet researching stuff. And then I think I still didn't really have any aspirations of competing. But the problem was I spent 4 years at university, literally in the gym every day. I didn't go to university. My attendance, I mean, I passed the first year, it was fine. Second year, my attendance was less than 1%. I passed all my exams, but because I was never there, I didn't even realise we had this coursework. So we didn't have the coursework in. So they gave me the option of leaving or resitting the year. I was having too much fun. So resat the year. And again, in the second year, my second year, my attendance was even lower because I just went to the gym all the time.
Yeah.
I just made sure I got the coursework done.
Yeah.
But the problem was I was training every day, but I was just out on the piss like 3-4 nights a week, just being a student.
Wow. Yeah.
So the two don't really sort of marry up. So in terms of my physique, when I came home for the summer, I normally got in pretty decent shape. I think I did my first ever diet in 2009.
Yeah.
After my first year at university, and I got in really, really good shape. And then it was when I went back that year that everyone like in that gym was on gear, obviously. And to me at that point, it was like, well, no, I'm never going to touch anything like that. It was like the dark side. And but when I got myself in really good shape, I thought, nah, I'm gonna try it. I never would have done it if I wasn't in shape to start with. So then that was when I went on. So I did my first cycle, I think I was 20. And then, but still being at university, then now you're training hard, now you're taking gear and you're out on the piss. So the gear did a bit, but still, like the nutrition side wasn't really there.
Yeah.
And then I was just drinking a lot. And then when I finished university, 2012, they had a local bodybuilding show, Mr. Lincoln, and I thought, right, I might jump into a show. Because I started watching, I think the first Olympia I watched was 2009, where Cutler came back, and I started getting interested in bodybuilding. So I think even then I decided I sort of wanted to do it, but I was never ready. So I just sort of waited, carried on training, and then I thought, right, I'm going to have a proper go at it. In 2012, I think I dieted for 6 or 7 weeks, and then we was 5 weeks out from the Mr. Linkage show, and then they just pulled the plug on it and cancelled it.
Wow.
So I was sort of halfway through prep, and that's when I decided, because I didn't even know about federations. I didn't know about who NAB were, UKBFF. I didn't know anything about it. And then I thought, well, I started dieting now, let me have a look. And then I saw UKBFF thing when I was like searching. I just decided to jump into that. So yeah, I never really ever thought about becoming a bodybuilder for a long time when I was in the gym. Just did it for sport, and then I was playing at a decent level, and it was just getting to a point where I couldn't even get myself around a football pitch anymore. Like, you know, the more weight you put on, you're trying to play football and bodybuilding. And one of them had to give, and I decided to go for bodybuilding.
Awesome. I feel like it's funny, like everyone that we've spoken to so far, for the most part, I think you're the first one who got into it, not off of the back of doing boxing or martial arts.
I was going to say the same.
Yeah, because we spoke to Cuba. I've got a martial arts background. Joe's got a background in boxing.
American football. So similar to you, Matt. It's team-based sport. And then I got fed up of playing with a bunch of fucking assholes and just stopped playing. To be fair, simple as it goes.
Yeah, but like most of the people we've spoken to so far, it always comes from a fight sport background. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
You finally found someone who came from, I guess, a team sport originally.
Golf.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, golf.
Well, to be fair, I think I've played every sport.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could turn my hand to sort of anything. Individually, I was county champion for tennis like 3 years in a row when I was at school. I played individual sports and team sports, but the problem was, like I said, I don't like footballers. Even when I went to university, I went to the trials. I got into the first team. I think we did like one social event, and I was like, I'm not playing with these fuckers. So I just didn't bother. They're just all idiots.
Yeah. I'm glad I've got someone on the podcast that I can resonate with when it comes to that, because it's the same in that. I think in most team-based sports, everyone's so egotistically driven, and you're supposed to be a damn team, but you're not. It's just a bunch of jack the bags playing together. Yeah. And if you're any good, you're any good, and if you're not, you're not.
Yeah.
And with my personality, I sort of clashed with everyone. So I was a good player on the team. I played running back, so it's the person who picks up the ball and runs with the ball. So I'm in the most fucking dangerous role. Everyone in the team had a disliking to me because, I just kind of kept my mouth shut. I didn't really associate with them off the pitch.
Yeah, well, I'm the same, to be fair. Like, I mean, even now, like, all my friends joke about how antisocial I am. Like, I am pretty introverted, and I just didn't. My personality just doesn't sit well with like your typical football lad, which is fine. But yeah, even now, like, I'll make any excuse not to go to a social event. So I pick bodybuilding.
I keep getting asked by. So I'm at university at the moment, and I keep getting asked by like all the rugby team at uni. They're like, "You're a big lad. Why don't you come join?" I'm like, "No," and they're like, "Why not?" Because I'm like, "Well, I'm sort of doing this bodybuilding thing," and they're like, "Oh no, you can still do it as well. You'll be fine." And then I see the videos of what they're doing at their social.
If you join the rugby team, you have to make naked rugby with a frozen chicken, mate.
Yeah, no chance in hell.
I mean, I like rugby people, but they're obviously very comfortable with their sexuality, because some of the people who do the gayest stuff I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, chasing a load of half-naked men around a field,
No, thank you.
Well, that's just the game. I'm all about doing nights out.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They're socials.
Weird rugby socials. The things we get up to, like, is very peculiar.
Yeah, absolutely.
My girlfriend's at Worcester Uni, so rugby's like the main thing for their one. And some of the stories I hear from her best mate's boyfriend is fucking crazy. I don't know how you can be so aggressive during a sport and then be so homoerotic when you're had a couple of burgers. It's hilarious.
Just too much testosterone. That's what it is. One room. But yeah, no. My other thing was just the amount of injuries.
Yeah.
I've dislocated my ankle in the past a few years, like 2018. And that just, from then on, there was no way I was doing any other sport, really. I was just like, look, if I turn too quick, my ankle's gone. And I've got friends, like my one friend who always tries to persuade me, he's permanently just wrapped up in like kinesia tape or whatever. He's just permanently just got joint supports on, ankle braces. I'm like, and he's like, "It's fine, mate. You won't get injured." I'm looking at you. You didn't have an injury to begin with, and now look at you. So
wrapped up like Imhotep.
Literally, yeah.
And I remember, I think it was, I just started my first cycle. I was just running testosterone, and I don't know whether you've ever had it on cardio. You get shin pumps. You ever had shin pumps on cardio?
Yeah, I get it when I'm just walking up an incline, just walk
anyway. Oh, yeah.
It's like, what's it called? It's like athlete shins or something like that. I forget what it's called.
Yeah. As soon as I started my first cycle, I'd be playing football and my shins are just filled with blood. And I mean, I've had it when you're out doing cardio. You end up walking like a proper dip, but you can style it out a little bit. But when you're trying to run with a football, and the hook's in my feet.
Yeah.
I was hitting the floor. I was falling over. And it was obviously related to, the gear just started. And I was thinking, I can't even move. Like,
damn.
And I must have looked like an idiot.
Yeah.
I was getting in at half time, taking my shin pads off, taking my boots off just to get rid of the blood, and then go back out, and I was fine again. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I was trying to kick the ball, and I couldn't feel my toes or my feet, so I didn't know what I was doing. And then, like, it's all right. I mean, I used to be, when I was 18, 19, I used to be the fittest person on the team. And then I don't think my fitness levels changed that dramatically. obviously it's a different type of fitness being in the gym.
Yeah.
Like now I can't run around the block, but I'll do a set of 20 squats. Like it's different energy systems.
Yeah.
But I think just the added weight week in, week out, all of a sudden trying to run for 90 minutes just with more weight and more weight.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just takes its toll. And
Yeah,
then,
the stress builds up.
and then that's when the injuries start coming in, when you're that tired from lugging it around. So someone had to give.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I always say I'm not a bodybuilder, I'm a footballer when people have a go at bodybuilders. I love football.
He's a bodyballer. There you go.
Bodybuilder, yeah.
I love bodybuilder right now.
Ball builder.
Ball builder. I don't know about that one.
I prefer body. Yeah, we'll go with the first one.
Don't fuck with me.
Do we want to talk real quick about how you got involved with the PCA then? How you started competing with them?
Yeah, I think, well, I did the very first PCA in 2015, the PCA United Kingdom. I think there'd been one show previously, sort of not under the PCA name, but it was the Saxon. Is it Saxon Classic they call it?
Yeah.
So that they'd done that was just an independent standalone show originally, and I think that was at the same time of the year it is now, sort of April, May time. And then I think that was when PCA was formed. So I think, like, for the first 3 years I competed UK BFF, so I did the juniors, then I went to the intermediates, then I went to the opens.
Yeah.
And then the year I did the opens, I got third and in the heavyweights, and I came off stage and I was like, that's bullshit. But I thought I won. And then the following day I got a phone call from Sugar, who's the head judge, and he said that I won, but they bumped me down to third because they had Gyna. And I was like, and he said, "Oh, are you aware that you've got Gyna?" I said, "There's slight lumps there." I said, "It's not bad at all." And he said, "Well, because you're aware of it, we're not going to invite you to the British finals. If we'd have said you weren't aware of it or something like that, we might have given you a chance to fix it and invite you." Wow. So that pissed me off, because then I think the following week the guy won his class and his Gyna was awful.
Is this UK BFF?
UK BFF, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard similar stories from Dean at our gym, Jermaine. Dean Lacia.
Yeah.
Like you said, politics with the UK BFF, especially like a couple of years back, was terrible. And they pretty much never gave him his pro card, even though he won his pro card like 3 times because of people he used to associate with.
Yeah. He won the Brits 4 times, didn't he? Yeah. British champion 4 times. But, I mean, he always missed out. But, yeah, they were very... And to be fair, if they said you got Gyno, fair enough. But then just the following week, someone would be so much worse winning. Yeah. And I just thought, I'm not competing with them anymore. So I went across to NABA. And then I think I did a first show a couple of weeks later. I did the NABA England in 2014. And I decided that the next show I was going to do was the NABA England the following year. So I was prepping. I prepped all the way through that. I started working with Milos Sarcev in 2015. And then I was about 9 weeks out from the NABA England. And I was looking at that, I was like, I'm so fat. Like, there's no way I'm going to be ready. Yeah. And I messaged him and he was like, no, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Bearing in mind that I started working with him about 10 weeks previously. And for the first 30 days, I put 45 pounds on. Like, obviously, he was using his insulin protocol. Yeah. I was eating I mean, I was finishing training. I was sitting in front of my food, and it was taking me like 90 minutes to eat the meal.
Jesus.
I would finish the meal, and I'd be like, "Oh, next meal's in half an hour."
Fucking hell.
It was absolutely awful. Like, literally, I mean, I think my post-workout meal was... Oh, here we go.
Oh. Welcome on. Can you hear us? You all right, mate?
Fuck off.
You're late.
He's connecting. Hello.
Hello.
You hear me?
What's going on?
Hello, mate.
All right, Matt.
How are we doing?
Good to you.
Yeah, which is, mate.
Sorry.
So yeah, I think post-workout meal was something like 1.5 kilos of white potato. It was just fucking horrendous.
That's insane.
And I just ended up, I just started getting worried that I'm not going to be ready in 9 weeks' time. So
yeah,
I moved coaches to someone who was quite local.
Yeah.
And we started dieting for the NABA England. And to be fair, I got shredded in 6 weeks.
Wow.
But then I got a phone call or a message from Ryan Alexander, and he said he was putting this PCA United Kingdom show on.
Cool.
Do I want to do it? And I said, no. I said, I'm concentrating on NABA England. And I think he messaged me literally every day, just sort of bugging me to come and do the show.
Yeah.
And I think I think it was like the Saturday before the show, so the day before the show, and he messaged me again. I was on a high day, so I think I was on 1,000 grams of carbs for the day. And I think I woke up Sunday morning and I thought, oh, fuck it, I'm going to go do it. So I was probably, I think lean, I was about 206 pounds. And I think I woke up that morning about 215, 216. And I thought, oh, I'm going to go and do it. Like, it'll be a laugh.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing anything. I was just on my normal diet, drinking the same amount of water. And we drove down there and ended up doing the show. And obviously, he'd been messaging everyone else, oh, come and do the show. So then the show was packed. And I was like, sat down. I ended up coming second.
Wow.
And I pushed him, Carl Jolly. I don't know if you know Carl. He went on to win Mr. Universe about 4 weeks later.
Mm.
And they said, oh, if you'd been a bit tighter, you'd have won. Well, I was full of water from the high day the day before. And then, so that's how I did my very first PCA show. Wow. And then I went to NABA the following week. Absolutely fucked it up. It was terrible. Like, obviously I followed the plan. And I just like a bag of shit. I looked worse at the NABA England, the one that we actually peaked for, than the week before that I fucked about for. But to feel like that prep coach, he was really, really good, but he blamed me for using insulin to carb up, and I hadn't. So we fell out because he couldn't admit that obviously it just didn't work.
He'd done it wrong. Yeah, it just hadn't worked.
But he was Cuba's coach at the time as well. Cuba won the NABA England that day as well in the junior class. And then he went on to win the universe.
So that was what year? 2015.
That was 2015. Yeah.
2015. Yeah.
Easy. Yeah. And then from then, I think I just decided to stick with the PCA. They were giving out prize money, which obviously they've then taken away, which I don't necessarily agree with. I don't. To be fair, I don't think there should be prize money in amateur sport.
Yeah.
I think they only give prize to pros now, don't they? The PCA.
Yeah, but I just think it was they used it as a carrot to wave in front of everyone to pull people away from UKBFF, and then just took it away. And I think that was a bit of a dick move.
Yeah.
Either don't offer it at all. I mean, the shows are good. The shows are, most of the shows are good. But I just didn't like the way that all of a sudden they just pulled all their prize money away from the amateurs after offering it up first.
Yeah.
But then I think, what did I do? I think the following year I was prepping for, 2016 I didn't compete. 2016 was when I opened my first gym. So I lived in Lincoln.
Yeah.
I hadn't left Lincoln since being there at university. And I decided to move back to Grimsby to open a gym with my business partner at the time. We made that decision. I think we made the decision to open a gym like halfway through November.
Right.
And we opened the first week of January. So it
was that IQ?
Pardon?
Was that IQ?
No, that's Complete Physique.
Complete Physique. All right, yeah. Is IQ still going?
Yeah, it's moved now. It changed its name to Fit Nation.
Yeah, Complete Physique. Yeah, I never went live, but yeah, I know about it.
So it was actually half of the gym was actually Ryan Alexander's gym, who obviously runs PCA.
Yeah.
So it was Saxon Gym at the time, so we bought all the kit off of him, or we bought his gym off of him because he was selling it. And I think we bought the kit and we didn't even have a building. And then I also had to relocate and move back to Grimsby, so I had to find a house. We had to find a building. And then it was 2 horrible days of driving across where is Staffordshire, wherever he lives, meeting a guy with an Arctic truck, dragging all that back over 2 days, and then we managed to get it all set up and open in January. And then, so I just didn't want to really compete. I had plans to compete, but it was just like with business, like just starting there, I was opening the gym at like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, till 9 at night. And it was something very new. Training was still good, just trying to juggle prep. And then I had a couple of health issues at the time, which turned out to actually be nothing. So that sort of put a downer on, because I did actually start prepping, and I had like a lump in my groin. And I thought I had a hernia. So I went to the hospital to check, and the doctor said, "Oh, I think you've got a hernia as well." So he referred me to my doctors to then get a scan on it. When I was getting the scan, it was a load of lymph nodes. So I just went back to the doctors, and I was just like, I didn't think anything of it. He started talking about cancer. And I was like, what? Like, don't drop that one on me. So then I got referred to the specialist at the hospital. We had to check that. So we just had to sort of call prep a day, but it just turned out to literally be nothing, just a bit of inflammation. But it took like weeks and weeks to find that out. So by the time that was done, I couldn't be bothered to compete in 16. So then 17, the plan was to do the Hull show, the PCA Hull show.
Yeah.
And I was getting in shape, and I don't know how many weeks out, but Ryan was on the text again, "Oh, come and do the Saxon, come and do the Saxon." So I ended up deciding on the morning of the Saxon to go and do it.
Yeah.
And then I won the class 2 that day, and qualified for the Brits. And then in 2017, the British finals were in June, as opposed to now they're at the back end of the year. And then I did Nabber North East as well, and then I did the Hull show. I came second for the Hull show. I fucked up, and Drew Walker turned up, and he was absolutely granite. I just beat Drew at the Saxon.
Yeah.
And then he turned up for the Hull show, and he was bang on that day. Like, you couldn't touch him.
Yeah.
So we were 1 all there, and then I did the Nabber North East, and I came 3rd there, and I won. Like, I'm not one of these people that'll say, like, moan about stuff on the internet and stuff like that. But I won that day, and I thought, they invited me to the British finals, and I'm not going to do the British finals. But I had quite a lot of judges message me that were watching as well, saying, "You've got to come in." Like, because I did get shafted. Even the guy who won, his coach told me I beat him. And I don't even know how I came 3rd. Like, it was, and that's on YouTube anyway. If you can find it out.
Did the judges say? Did the judges give feedback of why?
Nah, I never asked for that. I don't even see
Couldn't be asked with it. Yeah.
Like, judges' feedback's bullshit. Like, it's always the same. Like, come in tighter. Come in, like, be fuller, be tighter. It's always generic. Like, they've made their decision. They're not going to turn around and sort of say. I mean, it's actually on YouTube with John Hodgson and I can't remember the other John. They're running commentary over the top of it.
Yeah.
And they're going through pose to pose, like, I've got that pose, yeah, I've got that pose, or he's got that one. And by the time they'd finished, they they were looking at me and another guy, and I had more poses than the other one. Then someone else beat me as well.
Someone wasn't even in the conversation.
I had a couple of judges message me and try and convince me to go to the finals. So I decided to do the NABA finals. So it was a PCA final. It was the NABA finals, and then a week later was PCA finals. So I did the NABA Brits. I came third, and I was really stuck down for that one. And then the following week, I did the PCA show, and I think I was about 12, 13 pound heavier for that. And I came third again. To be fair, that year Mark Joyce won, but he came second. The lad who actually won, who I didn't even have in the top 6, was what's his name? He's IFBB pro now. He classic little Irish lad. Can't remember his name. Because he won the PCA finals 2 years in a row, and then a week later went and did the Italy show, I think. IFBB, and he won the classic physique. He won his pro card. But that year before, he was so small that everyone I spoke to didn't even notice him when he came out in the group. I think there was about 25 of us on the stage. They didn't even notice him then. Then he ended up in the top 6, and then he won.
Look at it, Irish.
But so when was that? It's 2007. And then, did I do anything that? I don't know if I competed at the end of the year. I don't think I did. Yes, then I think I took a full year and a half. Did I take a year and a half off, Steve? Because I think the next show I did was 2018, PCA Explosive 8. That was in September. So I think because they moved the British finals, I don't think I did anything for about a year and a half. So we did PCA Explosive 8 in 2018. That's the Midlands show. Won the overall there. I think I beat Scott Swench, and he came second in my class. And then I became like the most hated man on YouTube for a couple of weeks.
French gang.
Honestly, like, Scott's great. Like, I really like him.
Yeah.
But his fans, fucking hell, like, it's good job I'm not really sensitive. They were mean. They were really mean.
Were they?
Comment was awful. Like, how did he give his fat shit? Like, he's. But to be fair to Scott, he did come back, and he beat me in the finals. I came third at the finals, and he placed second.
Was that in Birmingham, the finals, the Worlds? Was that the Worlds or?
Every single PCO show in the world's in Birmingham.
Okay.
Like,
it was at the. We
were there, weren't we?
No, we was at the Worlds. The final was the week before.
Oh, okay.
Same venue though.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's why. Yeah, that's what.
The Worlds were at a different venue.
Were they?
Was it?
Oh, was it? It was the town centre. It was the city hall, wasn't it, or whatever?
Town hall.
The finals. Town hall, and then the Worlds was at the other place.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they've moved to Hull, haven't they, now, the finals?
Yeah, the finals were Hull last year. In fact, the town hall was quite nice.
Yeah.
The problem with, I think, the British finals that year was awful.
Was you in the overall, you say?
No, not in the British final. I won the overall in the Midlands show.
Yeah.
And then in the finals, I think it was absolutely pissing it down.
Sounds about right.
They closed all the roads for a bike race.
Yeah, I remember because one of my mates was competing in muscle models. I remember it. Eddie was there in muscle models.
Yeah, Eddie was there.
I remember they had a bike race going through Brum on the same day. Yeah.
I was staying in the Hyatt because it was like literally just when I did thing. I just got an Uber, got my tan, came back, stayed in the hotel all day, and I'm like, right, I'm just going to do the same. So I ordered. I hate getting my tan done the day before, so I always ask him to do it on the day of the show. I hate waking up in hotel rooms covered in tan.
Yeah.
You can't see anything. Like even there, like normally I used to go outside. I'll just go outside and find a spot to have a proper look in the daylight. But it was absolutely pissing it down, so I couldn't even go out and have a look. And then I got an Uber to the hotel, and the Uber, he was like, I can't get you any closer, which once I didn't have any talent, but I had to walk for ages to the town hall. You get your tan done, and I'm outside, and I had nothing. Like the Uber couldn't get near me, so I had to walk in the rain. All my tan was just everywhere, so I was pissed off already. I'm not very good at managing show day stress. It is my biggest weakness.
Yeah.
The smallest things piss me off. Like I'll get stressed because I got there early because I wanted to get my food in. So I was at the front of the queue for check-in, and they turned up half an hour late because they left all the paperwork out. So I was sweating, like dead hot in there, like loads of bodies. Like you start sweating, you start getting pissed off, so you start sweating even more. So I was trying to be calm, and I've been stood there for ages, about 45 minutes, and then they came in and he said, right then, I want juniors at the front, and I said, nah, no chance. Like fuck that. I was here first, and they wanted to put me to the back of the queue and do it in like show order. I said, I'm not doing that. It's bollocks. So stuff like that, it shouldn't, and I do need to get better at that because it will be on show day sometimes. But I think by the time I got on stage, I'm pretty sure it was like 9 o'clock.
Fucking hell.
And I from about 4 o'clock, I just wanted to go home. Like I didn't even want to compete anymore. Like everyone was backstage, just fed up. That's one of the things. I think PCA, they give out too many invites to British finals.
Well, a week later at the Worlds.
A
week later at the Worlds.
Yeah, I'll get to that.
That was like 11 o'clock at night finish. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, so I think they give out too many invites. They have too many bodies on stage, and it just carries on. Yeah. So yeah, I came third then, and I was like, shall I do the Worlds? So we decided to do the Worlds. And that one, we've been back, and the venue looked great. We went backstage. There was a gym and everything backstage. Thought, oh, this is cool. So we're chilling out and we're waiting. And then I think there was about 400 people in the classic class for short and tall. And that took...
At finals?
What's that?
At finals?
This is the World.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
And it just dragged, and it was at 5 o'clock came, 6 o'clock came.
Yeah.
If you're working it out, we were like, we're still not going to be on stage for another like 3 hours. And then we started getting a bit close, and we thought, right, we'll go backstage. We thought we had about 90 minutes till we was on stage. And we went backstage, and there was nothing there. Like the gym and everything that was there earlier on in the day had gone.
It packed up and gone home.
And I said, what the fuck's going on? Where are we going to pop up? I said, oh, we had to break it all. We had to break everything down because we got to be out.
We had to be out by 8 or something. They'd only booked it till 8, hadn't they?
Well, where are we going to pump up? Oh, don't worry, there's a dumbbell backstage. So, and then we literally just started, I was there with my training partner. He was in class 1, and I was doing class 2. And we literally just broke out the Dream Tan. And they came from backstage and he said, right then, we've only got the venues till 8 o'clock. We've been told we have to be out. They're going to turn the lights off at 8. So he said, we're not doing any routines. We've stopped doing routines. We're going to rush you through. You're on stage in 20 minutes. Didn't even have any tan on. And I just thought, this is fucking ridiculous. And everyone literally sat through an hour and whatever of a classic class, like every single one of them did a posing routine. And just like anything, that you get to the end of the day and the bodybuilders just get shafted.
Yeah.
But just to say, we worked out we had about 90 minutes till stage. It was like, you're on stage in 20 minutes. So we had to literally like try and dream tan ourselves the best we could. And then we was literally just on stage. I think I've got the video somewhere, and from literally stepping on stage to everything being announced was like 4 minutes. It was dog shit. And after that, I said, I'm never going to do PCA again.
I remember, Jermaine, we went and trained. Do you remember?
Yeah,
we left because
we came in the afternoon.
Well, we were there from the beginning.
We left, trained, ate out. Then we went and ate out as well, didn't we?
Yeah, we ate out, and then they were still not finished. And the people we wanted to see still hadn't been on. And I remember exactly that there was there's a physique, tall, medium, and short, with about 30 people in each class bending around the stage. And then classic, there was so many. They all did a 1 minute routine. Even like not just the top 6, everyone got the routine on. I remember it so vividly.
Insane.
It was
we just left, didn't we? We were like, oh fuck this, and then we highlights on Instagram, and that was us done.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, they say they're all about the athlete, and they are to a point and then if it was me, like Tim just said there, just do routines like top 6.
Yeah.
Like, I've said it to people, and they're like, oh well, I really like doing a routine. Well, just be better then.
Come in the top 6 and you get to do one.
Be a better bodybuilder.
Isn't that how it works in? Don't they do that in the Olympia as well?
No, everyone gets a routine in the Olympia, but you know how many people are turning up. This is the problem. Yeah. They don't know how many people are going to turn up to a British finals.
Yeah.
Until the morning. If they cap it at 16 a class. Yeah. Then you're going to have a very good standard.
Yeah.
Because I've been at shows, and it's like you think, why is 4th and 5th getting an invite? Shit.
Well, then some shows it's only top 3, but then they're giving out like 4, 5, 6 invites at some other shows. Yeah. And it's like,
yeah, but that's because they're going to pay an entrance fee.
Entry and get money.
Yeah. I mean, then it's about making money. But I do think they should say only we'll pick the top 6 and only they get to do a routine. That's what they did in 2017, I'm sure. But then it's all changed because they want to be about giving. Oh, we're all about the athlete and this and that. And
we're all about the athlete, but we'll take your money away and 500 people.
Well, when I competed in PCA, I thought I had about an hour. I thought I had about an hour before on stage, and then the 2 classes before, there was no one in the class, and then the class before there was just one woman, one girl, and we was on within 15 minutes, and we didn't even have time to pump up. By the time we got told to go backstage, because it was a tiny little room, it was the muscle tall one, and the time we got on, it was ridiculous. And we was out on stage, and it was like, we got backstage and they were glazing us, and we were like, what are you glazing us for? And like, oh no, the first class didn't turn up, and the second class was just one woman. And it's like, right. So it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's insane.
Fuck.
Well, I mean,
crazy.
Overall, I mean, I think all federations are as bad as each other, really. There's always some form of corruption, or there's some bullshit going on behind the scenes, or there's bench judging or this and that. But I think PCA are the best of a bad bunch. They do. I've heard some stories and stuff, but most often than not, like if I'm in the crowd, they pretty much get the judging right. Like most of the time. I do think PCA don't take into consideration muscle as much as they should. Considering it's bodybuilding, I do think that if you took a guy that had absolutely beautiful shape, and then a guy that was 30 pounds heavier, still nice shape but not beautiful, they would give it to the smaller guy.
Well, it's like when
more marketable, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like when Hector was against the Welsh guy.
Neil.
Welsh.
Neil, yeah.
It's like that comparison, and take it for what you will.
I've seen a lot of them where it's almost like muscle, which is probably the hardest part of bodybuilding. It doesn't seem to sort of carry as much weight as other factors, and I don't know why. Like if you're in the classic class, fair enough. But when you're in when you're in a men's open bodybuilding, like
open bodybuilding, of course.
Like 30, 40 pounds on people, like
so for a reason. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, I agree with classic. Like you look at Lewis, he wasn't the biggest on stage.
Yeah,
he had the best shape. He was the most aesthetic, and he had the best shape. And when he posed, he looked bigger. But when it's open, muscle plays the biggest part at the end of the day.
If that muscle is, if you're in condition, and
if you're both in condition,
like if your waist is slightly bit bigger, it doesn't matter because it's offset by. And I don't understand. Like I did ask a judge about it the other day actually, and I think some of them are torn. I don't know whether they've all got the same opinions. I don't know whether there is. I don't think there's necessarily a set criteria in place, but I do believe, like you said, they like people that'll go on their posters. I think they are thinking about the marketability and stuff. I mean, no, I've never seen anyone poor win. Like they still look. If you see a picture of them on their own, they look amazing. Yeah. But that's if you're compared to someone who's a lot bigger.
Yeah.
And the other person, in my opinion, wins.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good they look on their own. This is still what like.
Who wins? A good small guy or a big guy?
Yeah.
Should be a good big guy.
It should always be the good big guy.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, he's in condition and he's got a footload more muscle. This is bodybuilding.
It's bodybuilding.
Yeah. In the name, you know.
Yeah, a bit on the nose. Yeah, absolutely.
So I actually planned never to do PCA again. But I ended up doing it again.
Would you ever consider going on to, let's say, 2 bros or?
You did 2 bros in the summer, didn't you?
I did the Amateur Olympia in Vegas. And I'm doing 2 bros this year.
Yeah.
I've got the plan was just to go to Vegas again.
Oh, really?
But obviously last year they brought in the rule that you can't go to an international show unless you've done a home show.
Yeah.
We got waivers for that because we'd already decided we was already competing before they brought that in.
Yeah.
And it was bullshit anyway because we didn't get asked for anything when we was out there.
Huh.
So I planned to just do the same. But then I did see something that was released by the Pro League that made it seem a little bit more sort of concrete now. So I thought,
right.
So rather than going today, I'm doing I think it's the 26th of July.
Can't you literally just walk on stage, walk off, and then you can go international? You don't have to place or anything, do you?
Yeah, like just to be able to do all you have to do is make an appearance.
Yeah,
sure.
But because the final regional is on the 26th, and then a week later, there's the British finals. And obviously, there's a pro card on offer at the British finals. So I thought, especially like the talent isn't going to be as good at the British finals as it necessarily is an open international show at the Olympia.
Yeah.
So I thought, I want my pro card this year. I mean, everyone wants a pro card, and you never know who's going to turn up.
Yeah.
But I thought I might as well have another shot at it. So I'll compete on the 26th, and then the British finals, and then it's the Vegas show, and then the UK Olympia. So I've got 3 sort of potential lined up.
Yeah.
And then we'll just see what happens.
That's so just to clarify, you're competing on, is it September 14th that weekend?
Yeah, I think it's the show is the 12th, so it's on the Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's the Olympia.
It's I think the amateur's just before, isn't it? So it's like the Thursday. Friday.
Yeah, well, I think it's the 11th. I think it's the 11th and the 12th. The Olympia, isn't it? Is it the 11th?
Yes. Depends on whether it's a gap.
Yeah, that time, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But obviously, I'm doing one on the 26th of July, and the British finals are on the 5th or something. So we'll see how it goes in Britain. But yeah, I did that last year. I think before because I did Vegas. Problem was last year, I just sort of, as soon as I landed in Vegas, I just went into holiday mode. I was dead excited about being in Vegas. So I think we got there and we landed. And obviously we literally landed at the same time we took off because they're behind. So that day was a rest day. So imagine like how you feel like a couple of days out on rest day for food, and then that day then becomes like 36 hours.
A day and a half, yeah.
So I think the first thing I had when I landed was a Subway. And then we went food shopping, and I just started buying cookies and stuff. I ended up...
It's dangerous in America.
Yeah, so then obviously we went and trained, but I just wasn't on it. I was sitting around the pool. I got sunburned, which obviously you're going to want to get water with that, which, here's a tip. If you sunburn, don't put hair removal cream on it because it fucking hurts.
Yeah, I'll forget about. I'll bear that in mind next time. Just make sure I can use these.
So I think I had my whole arm was just burn, and I mean like an actual burn from being sunburned, then putting hair removal cream on top of it, and then I went and got tanned on top of it, and I was in agony.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we turned up there. I think, to be fair, that was in terms of looking out for the athletes. It was probably the worst show I've ever done.
Wow.
Only in the fact that you had, I mean, in my category, there was 35 people. And then there was almost the same across all the categories. And it was just men. But backstage was like the size of like a good-sized living room. And I'm like, just to maneuver yourself, there was just bodies everywhere. You have to just like step over people trying to get places. We didn't really know what was happening. I'd not done an IFB or an NPC show before, so I didn't know the format that it worked at. And people were yelling at us, "Oh, you got to get in line, you got to get in line." So I started lining us up, and I was in the heavyweights, and I think there's two or three weight categories below that, and they're all in lines too. And everyone's in a line. You're not allowed to pump up. And I think you'd go out. I think you do 3 run-throughs. So you'd go out in like a group of 4 or 5, and you'd do like a front double back. First you go out individually. You go out on your own. You have 30 seconds to just like do a bit of routine. And you come back on the stage and work your way back round. Then you go out again in your groups. And you just do, I think, like a front double bicep. Or like you do your quarter turns with a front double bicep and a rear double bicep. Then you lead off stage again, and then you come out a third time, and then you do your call outs. So we had to be in line while 3 weight categories before us were doing that. I think we were stood in line for about an hour and a half. And I was like, there's no way to pump up. It was just like, every time you move that line, some woman in an headset come and like whack you.
Okay, wow.
You think like there's a couple of guys, you had bands, but there was just nowhere to move.
Yeah.
And backstage was just cramped. I mean, the show itself, like the arena, the outside for the was really good.
Yeah.
But in terms of backstage, it was horrible.
Did you have a lot of excitement going into that show as well? I bet. Like when people think of like the peak, it's like doing like something under the Olympia name. Do you know what I mean? So were you just like buzzing, and then backstage and you were like, oh, yeah.
No, I didn't actually expect anything amazing. It's normally it's about the show, isn't it? It's not about what goes on backstage. But I did expect, because of obviously because the Mr. Olympia itself was only held just like it's the same building, just a different area. I just expected a little bit more room and some actual like equipment. Like we'd obviously we can't bring dumbbells from the UK.
Yeah. And
there was nothing there. So like trying to like borrow bands off people, and like they're getting a bit annoyed because you're nicking their bands and stuff. So obviously next time take some bands. But even then I just expected a little bit more backstage, to be honest.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the lighting was good, the venue was good out front. And then I didn't even go back. I think there was 35 in there, and I was, second call out. And only the top 5, and I didn't even bother going back. I thought, right, I'm going to eat.
Yeah.
So, and I knew I won on night. I'd almost forgotten about the show as such. I just wasn't taking it seriously. But I know this time I will do.
Yeah.
No.
You know what to expect now as well, don't you?
Yeah, you've seen the format.
Yeah, well, that's why this time we're going to go for 10 days. So we'll still be able to have a holiday afterwards.
Yeah. How long were you there for last time then? You were there for...
We did a week.
Yeah.
We went out on the Sunday and flew home the following Sunday. And I competed on a Thursday.
Okay.
And then we watched the Olympia Friday, Saturday night, came home Sunday. Well, this time...
Any suggestions on what to do in Vegas? Because I'm going to be there as well this year.
Gamble.
I'm not gambling.
Don't gamble.
Yeah.
I went and sat on one of their machines and we just had some dollars. And honestly, like, just go throw it down the street, mate. Like, it's something in there. I didn't even know what I was doing. I pressed the button. It was like, oh, that's $10 gone. And I was like, this is dangerous.
Yeah.
So, yeah, don't gamble.
Don't gamble.
Just walk the strip, mate. Just take it all in and just go and, I don't know, there's loads going on. Go train at something. Just find out which gyms to go to.
You won't be 21, will you?
Me?
You're not 21, are you, in September?
I will be, yeah.
Oh, you will be? Oh, right.
Yeah, I turned 21 in August, started 29th. Right.
Okay, yeah, sweet.
Yeah. So that should be golden.
But yeah, it's expensive some places, so
yeah.
Just eat it, go to In-N-Out Burger, live there. That's great.
Yeah, get some animal fries and stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Find out. It depends what you want out of it. If you want to see a lot of the pros, I think. I'll find out the name for you. But Lift Factory.
Lift Factory, yeah.
I think
Cutler's
it's not
like
it's not.
You've got Lift Factory, City Athletic, and something else.
No, it's City Athletic.
Yeah,
is that the one?
I think
that's where all the pros will be.
I think that's where all the pros go. I ended up going to, because I saw a video on YouTube, and it was LVAC, and I think LVAC is now like the old Golds, because there's no Golds out there anymore.
Yeah.
I saw a YouTube video. It was Jay Cutler, and there was a new LVAC opening, and I was like, I thought all the pros were going to be there. I'll take your ID to the gym. You can't get in without ID. Because we turned up to one, we got an Uber to one, and my mate didn't have his ID, so they wouldn't let us in. But he said that Rolly Winkler was over at another one, so we went to get ID and went over to there.
Yeah,
and he wasn't there. Well, we ended up. I think we paid $50, and that was we could go as many times as we wanted for the week. Okay. But I know the one where all the pros were. I think it's run by Hiddy and his missus, ex-Miss Olympia 9 times.
Oh, okay.
Iris Kyle. I think they
Yeah.
And I think that's where they all go. But it was $20 a day, and I just thought, like, we actually wanted to eat. So when we was out there, we bumped into the guy who runs Anabolic Designs in America. For Joe.
Okay. Yeah.
He lived in the hotel that we stayed at.
Right.
Okay.
We were chatting to him, and he was telling it. He said, if we want to train, don't go there. Like you can't train. Imagine like Emporium at Body Power weekend.
I was just like Emporium at Body Power.
Yeah, just can't move for shit.
So we were competing. We wanted to train, and the gyms are really well equipped, but they're full of idiots.
Of course.
It was like people don't train out there. I didn't see anyone in shape in the gyms. They might have been in the other gyms. But then we went over to the one on one day. We got an Uber, and it took us about half an hour to get there. The one that had just opened, and Patrick Moore was in there training.
Oh, cool.
We saw Patrick, and that was cool. That had literally just opened. All the equipment was brand new, but I get it. Like, it'd been open, I think, 3 days. It was a shithole. Weights everywhere. But
animals.
Pure
Gym Vegas. Yay.
That is what it's like. It is. I think the LVAC. I think there's about 10 of them in a very close proximity. They are very pure gym type.
Yeah.
But they're
pure gym clientele as well.
Like, very good equipment.
I remember going to Planet Fitness in the middle of New York City. And I after a while, I just had to leave because I was having a meltdown.
Is that the one where you can't slam weights?
They have it. So like they have a thing in there. They have a lunk alarm. It's called the lunk alarm on the wall. If you make a bit too much noise, the alarm goes off and the guy will come over and tell you off.
Get free pizza, don't you?
Huh?
You get free pizza there, though.
Only on Tuesdays. Yeah.
Free pizza at the gym.
Yeah, it's the whole point. The whole business model revolves on getting fat people to join, and then
dairy free cheese, man. It's all good.
Yeah, the whole thing is just get fat people to join because they don't feel self-conscious that way.
And give them pizza.
Fat. And
That's
just give
genius.
them food. Yeah. They do donuts on Fridays, I think, as well.
Fucking brilliant idea, to be honest.
Yeah.
Get them to pay a membership and keep them fat every week, so the membership just rolls and rolls and rolls.
Yeah. It's brilliant business model, but oh my God, there's a place to train. Stresses me out. They don't have any racks or anything. They've only got Smiths because the racks make too much noise, of course. So yeah, everything's in like really cushioned Smith machines. They just make noise. Yeah, it's awful.
They have like foam plates or something.
They're all like rubber
plates.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I won't be going there, that's for sure.
But yeah, I'll definitely have to make a list of things and stuff to do while I'm over there, especially in terms of training and like best places to go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think like depends what you want out of it. I know people go to Vegas and they go like you go shoot guns and stuff. I mean, all that.
Yeah.
I enjoy just wandering around and just
having a look around. Yeah.
Honestly, there's some weirdos. Like it is full of absolute weirdos.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, but it's cool. But I think, like I say, we're going to go out on either the Sunday or the Monday. Yeah. And I'm going to compete on the Thursday. Then we'll almost be staying like a full week after. Yeah. So we can actually go and do stuff.
Well, you'll be there, won't you, Jermaine?
I'll be flying. I think I'll be flying out on probably the Tuesday morning, early morning Tuesday. So I'll get there around. What's the time difference? It's like 7 hours or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
9.
Huh? Might be, yeah. It's 5 hours East Coast.
Yeah, I think it's 9.
Yeah. So I'll be there and So I'll get there and probably won't be able to do much for that first day or whatever, but I'll just be moving in and staying with Rod, who's competing at the amateur. So yeah.
Have you got someone to drive you?
Huh?
Have you got someone who drives out there?
I do not. That is definitely something I need to figure out.
Sam?
Yeah.
I think Sam will probably end up having a car while he's out there.
Has he actually got a license though?
He does have a license.
Like in general.
A UK license. Sure. He probably won't by the time I get there after he's been there a few days, but
we were just using Ubers last year.
Yeah.
And then obviously it just takes off your PayPal, it's like free money. And then when we got back to the UK, I spent 500 quid on Uber. And I didn't go far. Like, obviously, everywhere we went, even like in the morning, like before the show, I had to go to the New Orleans, get tanned, then come back, then back to the show and back again. And it just adds up, everywhere.
How much is it like like if you were to compare rates, like I know if you go to London or whatever, a short journey is quite expensive. Is it like just more expensive than normal, or?
No, it's pretty decent, but because everything, obviously you've got the Strip, but because you're the Olympia and stuff like that, if you want to go places, it's not in walking distance.
Yeah.
So even if you want to just pop to the supermarket, I mean, obviously it depends what hotel you're staying at. But if you need to buy, like we had, obviously we stayed at the Trump Hotel just because it had a kitchen. I needed to prep food. So the first thing we had to do was obviously you go to the supermarket and they're not far. Like it's like 5-10 minutes in the car, but it's like $7-8, and then it adds. Oh, you got to come back. So all of a sudden there's $14, and then being there just for a week. That's the thing. You don't ever think, oh, this is expensive.
No, it adds up.
It just adds up.
Yeah.
So the roads are a bit mental. I'll probably die if I had a car. But if you can, if you want to save a bit of money out there, like having a car, definitely do that.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Right.
You'll enjoy yourself out there then, Jermaine. That's for sure.
I'm gonna be in full off season, just out there, just seeing everything pretty much.
Double biceps by the fountain.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Olympia Expo shit, so don't expect much.
Yeah, I've heard from quite a few people it's not the best.
What do you think to the thing in Liverpool at the end of the year? A
Well,
lot of decent names.
The Fit Expo, yeah, I think it'll be quite good. The people behind it.
Yeah, I'm interested in going there. Yeah,
I think it'll be pretty decent. But then I think it'll have some competition next year, obviously with the Arnold coming.
Yeah.
That's
that was
super
big
exciting.
news drop the other day, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to? What do you think's going to happen with Body Power then?
Well, Body Power, I think Body Power will stay because the Arnold's at the NEC, but it's not until the September, isn't it? So I think that might clash with Fit Expo.
Interesting.
So I think for the first year, but I don't think Arnold needs to.
Why would he merge? Yeah.
So,
he's got nothing to point.
The Arnold name will always just pull everyone in, even if it's the first year and people realise it's crap. But I can't imagine it being that. Body Power will carry on going. I think I spoke to someone the other day. They've dropped all their prices on like stands and stuff.
Yeah.
So either they're desperate or I think they've dropped prices by like 30-40%.
Wow. Yeah, because I remember it got to a point where
have gone up.
Yeah, it got to a point where people were paying like $100,000 or something for a stand. Yeah, that's insane.
Well, yeah, but they'll combat that with the up in tickets now. They'll just up ticket price.
Yeah.
I think the good quality, what is it, VIP one is about £90.
Yeah.
What was it before? 70?
Yeah.
60.
I remember paying like 60, 70, like in 2016. That was the first year I went.
Okay. I've only been once, and that was when you got tortured by ants on the legs.
Oh, I've only been one?
Yeah, I went 2018, that was it.
No, you've got nothing to compare it to. It used to be so good. Yeah. I think I had 2010 was my first one. I think that was the second one ever.
Did you go last year, Matt?
Yeah, I was working it last year.
It was dreadful, wasn't it?
I only went on a Friday, and obviously I had a bit of a wander around, and I thought it was shit.
Yeah.
There's nobody there.
Nobody.
And
was you on the JP stand?
Yeah, I worked the Friday last year on the stand. I think because I thought maybe it got better on the Saturday or the Sunday because it wasn't even busy on the Friday. But then I was also supposed to be doing something with Mike and Leisha Chelsea on the hardcore bodybuilding bit.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be doing a talk or putting someone through a session there. And I went over and I was on 5, I think, and I went over and there was no one there. And he said it had just been dead all day because I think they used to quite like merge everything. So you might stumble across, like when I did that thing with Ant, it was right next to that 5% stand.
Yeah, right next to the 5% stand. You're not far away from the canteen.
Yeah,
next to the animal stand as well.
So people find stuff by mistake. Like, oh, what's this? I'll check it out. Whereas last year, they put all like the supplement stuff in one hall, and then it was
sections,
equipment demonstrations, like people selling gym equipment.
Yeah,
and all the food stuff. Then it was the hardcore bodybuilding bit and the PCA thing at the end.
Yeah.
But there was no PCA on the Friday, so no one ever really ventured. I think that last year they just got the layout wrong, where they should put popular stuff next to cool stuff that people aren't maybe going to know about but would enjoy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think they put it around there because people nowadays that go to bodybuilding, body power, aren't really too concerned with bodybuilding. Unfortunately,
I made a post, a video about it. I was working on the Saturday, and it's just turned into like I don't know how to describe the guys that go. It's not bodybuilding.
Tits out and selling an energy drink, pretty much.
Yeah, it's just corporate. Like
it's lads just decked in like 11 degrees and 6 silk that go to the gym for Ibiza for the summer, and they're walking around body power with like a tight tank top on, just like looking around the bang engine, that kind of shit. It's not. It's not bodybuilding anymore. Half of it.
Well, it's
So
reflected in the people that they get in now. I mean, I think that the year it turned for the worst was when, like, Callum Best was there, like, and Jody March.
No, it's that kind of crowd now. That's it's got even worse. It's just them.
That's what I mean, but I think that was the year it sort of turned, and that's why now they're not going to pay £10,000-15,000 for a bodybuilder. It's much easier just to give a grant to someone on YouTube who's famous, because he's going to bring in more people.
There's probably going to be Love Island people there this year.
Yeah, probably.
For sure, 100%.
I saw. It's interesting though. Like
Tommy Fury.
I think who spoke about? I think it was on Fuad's podcast, and they were talking about how nowadays it feels like it's almost coming back round a lot to the bodybuilder.
Yeah.
What the companies have done is hired all these people with millions of like followers on Insta, like all these girls who just make pictures of them and themselves in a bikini, and that's it. And like what they found is they're not actually getting people buying a lot of the supplements or buying into the brands, because literally all they're doing is staring at an arse on a screen, and there's no actual like value or like credibility association. So do you think it'll come back round to bodybuilding? That's what I'm.
I don't know. I think with the advertisers, they obviously, when they started bidding off bodybuilders, I think one, they could get the Instagram famous people for a lot less, and I think they did predict that the exposure and the advertising will be more so.
Yeah.
But I still think that the supplement industry is funded by bodybuilders.
Yeah.
They're still the guys paying. So if you want to buy a supplement, you still want to see the bodybuilders using them.
Yeah.
And I think in terms of, I think they made a mistake there, but I still see the industry coming back round.
If they're making money and they're getting the engagement, why would it come back round?
Yeah, they don't need to.
I think it's taking a different path. I think we was worried for a while that bodybuilding itself would die out. I don't think that will ever happen.
I don't think so, yeah.
But people still love freaks.
Yeah.
But I do think, obviously, with the classic bodybuilding, men's physique, not so much anymore. I think men's physique's taking a back seat to the classic.
Yeah.
I think classic's now your popular class.
Yeah.
Probably because a lot of the men's physique guys are bigger than half the classic guys as well. It's still gone upside down.
I know, yeah.
It's crazy that they don't have a weight cap.
I never see it coming back around, because I think social media will always be here. I think social media is the reason that the bodybuilding's went the way it did. But I think probably, I mean, I don't know, because I didn't experience the 90s of bodybuilding, or even like the 2000s as such. But I do know a lot of guys that the thing is, now everyone looks back and says, oh, the cool thing about bodybuilding was that it was like, it wasn't mainstream. Like you had to love bodybuilding to do it.
Yeah.
You did it for yourself. And now too many bodybuilders are doing it for different reasons.
Clout.
Either Instagram or and then people are getting into bodybuilding. I think bodybuilding is one of those people that you get into it because you're meant to. And I think a lot of people are forcing it. They're not really bodybuilders.
No.
They want to be a part of something. So they'll sort of pretend to be bodybuilders.
Yeah.
But I think a lot back in the day, bodybuilders used to push. They wanted bodybuilding to be mainstream. Like they're trying to push the Olympia to be main bike, so you don't have to either turn up. It used to be, and then you started getting internet streams, and they want it on the TV. So I don't think you can have it both ways. You can't want it to be mainstream, and then when it starts becoming mainstream and people get involved and start, you can't really moan about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think hardcore bodybuilding will always be there. I don't think it will go anywhere.
Yeah. I think
it'll still be the main pull, and it'll still be the one that gets the most amount of money on the Olympia. I don't think that will change, because people, even guys that go to the Olympia to watch, like, men, they might like that, but when an open bodybuilder walks out, their jaw drops, and you'll never get that I think this year, hopefully, when we see Rami come out.
Yeah.
It was last year for me, and it was Hadi when he came out. And you're just not going to get that in a men's physique. Or to be fair, that's a lie. The ones that impressed me the most were the women. They were unbelievable.
You said that. Yeah, you told me that in the gym after when you got back.
Unbelievable, like their conditioning. But I think men's bodybuilding it'll never go anywhere. But I don't think we'll ever get what apparently they had in the 90s. But that's only because even like it's the amateur shows as well. I don't think bodybuilding's got any worse. It's just now the field's just been diluted.
Yeah.
Because as I say, there's people doing it that shouldn't really be doing it. Whereas then everyone wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And they trained hard. I don't think physiques have got worse. The standard itself in terms of the top level hasn't lowered. But I just think there's a lot of people making up numbers that are making people go, oh, bodybuilding's worse.
Yeah.
Like you might have had 6 amazing guys in a show. Now you've got 16. 10 is shit. 6 are still amazing.
Yeah.
And I think you've just got like an average now. The average is being dragged down, but I think the top guys are still like phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I think, like I say, it's social media and stuff like that. Now you got people putting their pictures on, and they get told, "Oh, you're ready. You're shredded, mate. Like you're ready. Get on stage." And people get on stage not ready. Whereas I think 15 years ago, they're making the gym when they told them you're fat.
Yeah.
And even now, like I speak to people and say, "You're not ready. You're still fat." Oh yeah, but so and so on Instagram said I was shredded, mate.
No.
Like,
shut up.
Yeah. But it's just a reflection of society as a whole, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's okay to not be fucking incredible anymore. It's fine to look like a fucking bag of potatoes. You can get on the front cover of a magazine looking like Jabba the Hutt. Like, where do you draw the line?
Yeah, it's all perspective and levels. Like, I had a lot of people. I was like 8 weeks out from my first show. A lot of people like, "Oh, you're shredded, bro. Like, you're ready." I'm like,
whereas in the mornings when we were doing posing,
yeah,
we said to each other, didn't we? Straight, I was like, "Yeah, just keep losing, stick to it, keep doing the cardio."
You like
and
even
you
had
for
the
a
eye
few
for
weeks,
it.
a couple of weeks after, then we pose, and I'm like, "Now you look 4 weeks better." Oh look, we got 4 more weeks to go. Keep pushing the boat.
Yeah, that was it. Like every time you watched me pose, you were very honest in your assessment, saying, "Yeah, no, you can push more. You need to be leaner. You need to be leaner." And like
you were still smiling, so I knew you weren't ready.
Huh?
I said, still smiling, so I knew you weren't ready anyway.
Yeah. It's funny. Like I had it a lot with one thing I noticed with my coach. He'd be like, "Oh, this is great progress, but I think you just need another week. Just push a bit more." And then the next week,
you need.
"Oh, yeah, you're really close. Just push a bit more." Oh, next week, you'll pretty much be on the money. We'll start reversing next week.
Yeah.
Like
How's it like working with Sasan? Because I know he's quite relaxed with himself. What's he like as a coach?
Yeah, I can't fault anything he does. He is really, really good. I say his approach is very knowledgeable, very experienced, but at the same time simple. Like, I don't mean simple in obviously it's just shit. Like, I mean like, you know, how it is, just like, it's just food. Like, there you go, there's your food. Like, everything he does, it'll be for a reason. But when he sends you a plan, it's not like you read it like, what the fuck is this? Like, nothing, it's just a meal. Like, meal 1, bam, there you go, eat that. And then he explains everything, why you were doing it. With me, he just gets me. That's why I think I work very well with him. We just sort of click every time. It's not that often. Like, I'm pretty good at just getting on with shit. I never really complain, but every now and again my head goes, and I'll start second guessing things. And every time that has happened, within about 10 seconds of talking to him, like, he's just gone. And we're back on with it. Like, he just makes you feel really comfortable. And even like when Christmas, so I said, "Look, mate, I'm going to take a week off, and we're going to have a big push, blah, blah, blah. I'm eating some shit food." He was like, "Good, it's Christmas." I know there's some coaches out there, they expect you to live like a robot and like wear your Christmas dinner out, and we are human beings, like, and some people work like that. I just can't, and because I think if someone said that to me, I'd end up sort of rebelling.
Yeah.
And then
how long until you'd break?
And it'd just be like push and pull all the time, and then I'd start thinking, "Oh, fuck this," and I just get my own ideas and just go and do my own thing. Like anything he's ever done or said to me, and he's got so much personal experience as well, being on a top level, and he's gone through. I mean, his physique. I mean, we all saw the picture he reposted the other day. His physique's absolutely phenomenal, and I do think that if he gets himself back on stage, like, he will easily be a top 5 Olympian. Like, even with, like, I think if he got ready for it this year, he would be. His shape is amazing, but he's got so much. Obviously, he's worked with Chris Aceto, so he's had all the experience of working with probably the best prep coach in the business for X amount of years. Before he worked with Chris, he built his own physique over. He only started competing in 2012. He'd been bodybuilding for ages, so he'd already put together. He doesn't really go with the crowd.
Yeah.
He's got his own ideas about things, and he just sort of relays them to me. And like, I just understand everything he asks for. He tells me why, and I just know exactly what he wants. I mean, there was a point where in January I messaged him. I said, "Mate, I'm fat, too fat," and he said, "Trust me, you're not. Like, just keep pushing." And he just said to me, "You can't be Mr. Olympia every day of the year. Like, it doesn't matter what you look like now." And he just said a few other things, and it just made me think, you know what, you're right. I send my photos now. I don't even have an opinion on my own physique. I just leave it. And everything, if he gives me more food, I eat the food. If he gives me less food, whatever he tells me to do, I'm just doing it, because I just have 100% faith in him. And I do struggle. I am very difficult to coach. I really, really am not a coachable person at all. But with him, it's from like word go. It's just been brilliant. Like, literally, I couldn't complain about anything.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, this is a good topic. Like, the good segue into it. Like, us lot were talking earlier about coaches in the industry, like marks of a good coach and stuff. And I think that is probably one of them. Is you have complete trust and faith in your coach, both from his track record and, you know, through word of mouth, and who else he's associated with, that he's like, you know, you've got 100% faith in that, and it's clearly paying off. What are your thoughts on the state of coaching nowadays and like the business?
Honestly, I think it's a minefield. I do think the fitness industry is a mess.
Yeah.
And even like regulations in the fitness industry don't help anything. Like, you can show me a guy who's got a piece of paper that tells me he's a personal trainer, but you can show me a professional bodybuilder that doesn't have that bit of paper, and I know which one I'm picking. I think Ant posted on Instagram the other day, and it just said, like, knowledge without mileage equals bullshit. And I think it is. I think there's too many personal trainers that are personal trainers because I fancy a change of career. Like, I've seen people like, I mean, even I've worked in commercial gyms as a PT, and you meet the other PTs and you say, "Oh, how long have you been doing this?" "Oh, I just qualified through like that personal training school or something."
Literally.
They all have different, like, total different career paths.
And we churn them in and out every 2 weeks. Literally, a PT goes, a PT comes in.
That's how our course was, wasn't it, Tim? We both did our qual together.
But I think,
ridiculous.
Like, I did not learn anything on my personal training course. Look, like, I knew everything that I knew before.
Before you know.
Yeah.
Like, I've been doing it for a while, then I did it to get a bit of paper to allow me to actually work in a commercial gym.
Yeah.
When these people, their first experience of, or any knowledge of the gym, is on day one of the course. So it's not a passion of theirs. I think you have to be passionate in this industry. You have to want. They literally saw an advert that said earn £35,000 a year and get a job interview. Oh, that looks all right. Like
guaranteed job interview afterwards if you do the course, pay for the course.
Yeah.
And you've got so many people like looking after it. So literally, just like you say, it's just a conveyor belt. They put you into a commercial gym. They start you off. You don't make enough money to pay your rent, so you leave, and they just put another one in. They don't care. Like, as long as there's someone in there paying rent, someone's paying the fees or whatever. And I think, obviously, that's at a lower level, like the PTs at any commercial gym. I've not really seen a good PT in ages. And then I think as we go up to, obviously, people like the idea of online coaching more than PT because it's probably less work, more money. So then that appeals. And I think, again, you don't need any qualifications to do it. So it's very easy to get into it. And most people use themselves as the advert.
Yeah.
But someone else got them in that shape. And then they're now just going to regurgitate what they got told. So they've got no experience of actually dealing with anything. And they just start marketing themselves. But then they say to themselves, oh, well, I'm not very good. So to be fair on others, I'm only going to charge £30 a month. But then they advertise them as a £30 a month online coach. So you got someone trawling the internet and they go, oh, right, I want an online coach. Well, that one's 150 quid a month. Oh, this one's 30 quid a month. I'm going to go with 30 quid a month one.
Yeah.
So they dilute the industry. They then give you a shit service because it's cheap and they don't know what they do. So that person then gets poor coaching and comes out the other side of it going, oh, that online coaching is not worth it. They don't say, oh, I'm actually going to try the expensive one and get results. And I just think there's too many people that just literally either do one show or get in shape once and then think that they can go and replicate that in a lot of individuals.
Yeah.
Like they don't, I think you sort of got to earn your stripes. Like when I first started, I started helping people out, like friends out with diets and stuff. But the thing is, they never even got themselves in shape. A coach did. Like if you've got yourself in shape and you do some research stuff and you can do it, you know you can do it, you've at least then got like a foundation of knowledge to then start working with other individuals. But when someone's told you how to do it, I don't think that counts. You haven't experienced, like you haven't done any trial and error, or because everyone's different. People respond to different things, and I just think it's a bit of a mess. And you've got some guys very, very good, but it's up to how does somebody work out if you're good until they work with you. Obviously, you've got word of mouth, but I still think a lot of people get clients off of their status or presence on Instagram, as opposed to caliber of coaching.
Yeah.
Too many people these days want to hashtag what they coach or tag their coach in a video. They're literally paying someone £150 a month to be able to tag them in a story. I'm sure. I see it all the time. Like, they go, oh, that person's popular on Instagram. Oh, I want to be able to tag them in it. I'm going to use them.
It's like you said about, why would you pay 30 quid when you 150 when you could pay 30? You've got the same. Why would you go with someone with 10,000 followers when you could go with someone with 150,000 followers? They think the person with 150,000 followers has more knowledge than the 10,000.
Yeah.
Purely just because of the followers.
Yeah.
Well, and that's, I think, I don't even know if there's anything you can do, like, to combat it. I think all you can do is try and educate people as to how to pick a coach. Like, don't look at them, look at their portfolio of clients. Speak to people they've worked with. Like, and I think you can have a very good coach who's got very good results, but he's not necessarily right for that individual. People just don't get on. I think you have to be a good coach, you have to be able to empathize with people. And I think you do have to build up a good relationship with your client to be able to get on. And you can't have a good relationship with everyone. So I do think that a lot of research has to be done. If you're just if we're just talking like bodybuilding prep coaches, you just want someone to get you in shape, really. So find someone that gets people in shape. But then again, a portfolio is only a highlight reel.
Yeah.
Like, just because you got 10 people in shape, you might have 200 clients and they all bombed.
Yeah.
It's
very, very smell the shit. Yeah.
It's very, very difficult to. And then the thing is, once you get a coach that starts getting a good reputation, they then attract a higher caliber of athlete that anybody could prep. So it works in like, it's a bit of a cycle. And obviously, the better your reputation, you actually get clients that are easier to work with. So then you get other people looking, oh, fucking hell, look at him. Well, yeah, a monkey could have prepped him. But people, oh, he must be brilliant because look at all these guys he's got. He's like, but they were already that good when they went to it. So I just think it's very, very difficult, like, to even pinpoint. Like, I mean, I only work with a handful of bodybuilders. Like, most of my work is like the average person who wants to
lose some weight,
like get in shape, or like holidays and this and that. Because bodybuilders are high maintenance anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is a strange one. And then you're the first cop out as well. Like, I've seen it before.
Switch coach.
Someone gets in absolutely amazing shape. They do really well, and then they don't place because somebody else better turned up, or they came third and didn't win. But they were at their limit. Like, you could not have been better on that day.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't have done anything better. Like, bodybuilding is always about who turns up at the end of the day. Like, you see people win shit shows, then a following later going from 6. Like, they didn't get any worse.
Yeah.
And vice versa. But then people are like, oh, you know, and then they want to go somewhere else. They never give a cut. Or people come to me, they message me and say, oh, I want prepping. My show's in 9 months' time. And I say, okay, cool, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so shall I come to you about 12 weeks out? And it's like, give me a chance now. Like,
jeez.
Let me get to know you. Like, people just want prep and then they disappear and, oh, I can do off-season on my own, or I can do this on my own. Yeah. And they very rarely can. Yeah. But again, I think it's money, and then people expect it for free. Yeah. Like, it's that industry. Everybody wants it for free. It's the only industry where it seems to happen. You should just be able to tell people how to get in shape. You shouldn't charge them. But like that, I think if
the amount of people that have come and like they ask, and then when I tell them the price, oh no, I can't afford it, and then it's just asking loads and loads of questions for free, and it's like you're kind of asking for the service.
You're
in a half
like
about way, wanting to know them. Yeah, and then it's like,
yeah, stop. I've got some people like that at the moment who are just like, they're like, oh, like, can you check my squat form? And they'll start sending me like a fuckload of videos of them training. Like, what's my form like? How good? I'm like, fuck off. like go to someone at your gym, get them to look at you. Someone that you've paid for. I presume like there's PTs at a gym that you've paid for previously. Get someone else to look at it. Like, you know, like it does get to a point where if you give them an inch, people can take a mile. Definitely.
Yeah. So I don't think there's any saving it. I think it will only get worse until there is either a proper qualification put in place that stops you from giving out any nutritional advice, hypothetical or otherwise.
Yeah.
But then I think that will also, I know like there's the top coaches that are putting out a lot of good stuff, they're all calling for that, but they don't have that. So I think it's going to stop everyone. I don't know how it can be policed.
Yeah.
I don't know if people are just going to have to either learn the hard way.
Yeah.
But I mean, even it's just bullshit. But again, it's all about marketing.
Yeah, 100%.
I do it all the time, like people pulling people in with shit adverts or just bullshit. Like, like I say, it's just Instagram and social media, and people just bullshit people.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think that's why as well. Like, for example, like I remember I did my PT call with Tim, and I remember just doing it. And like we did it in like a month or two, and like I didn't have to like practice or revise or try for any of it. It was just, like, it was stuff I already like pretty much already knew, banged it out, done. And then at that point, I was like, "Oh yeah, I could just now go work in the gym." And I was like, "This is insane!" Like as soon as I did the qual, I was just like, "This can't just be it."
Yeah, it's like, to me, personal training. It's not a job; it's a trade. It's like, would you go for a plumber who's just got his license 2 weeks ago, or would you want to go for the guy who's fixed 100 bathrooms? It's a trade. It's not a job.
Yeah.
Because you get what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I ended up going on and do it. Like, that's what I'm doing now.
Exactly.
No, there's no credit. Like, now I'm doing like work experience and doing like, I have opportunities for placements and actually working with athletes and stuff, and working with individuals who are, you know, who are higher maintenance and stuff. And like, there's no credibility.
Yeah.
if you just get PT qual and that's it. And it is down to experience as well. Like, even I could get this degree. If I've done nothing in that time and just studied, that I'm going to be a shit coach anyway.
Yeah, because there's no application. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
To round off, do you want to go for some quick fire questions, guys?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go through some.
Because we've been on for nearly 2 hours and.
Bloody hell, it's flown by, hasn't it?
Flown by, isn't it? It's what you get when you got a nice.
Yeah, when you got a good conversation, a good. Right. Okay, who's starting?
Anyone? Go shoot.
You boys. I never put the question box on, so.
Did you not? Because you're a fucking tosser, aren't you?
Yeah. For God's sake.
I will ask Alex something. Matt, what are you getting any new equipment?
The questions out. What's the matter with you?
What's that?
Muscle Flex, is he going to be getting any new equipment by the time I'm home in about Easter, so I'll be back for a month then.
Probably not, because we've got no space.
You just got the hammer strength stuff, haven't you? You replaced the presses.
Yeah, we've got that. Have you not used them yet?
No, I'd left just as they came.
Yeah, so we've got that, but we've run out of space, mate.
But to be fair, don't need much more.
Thing is, there's not much out there. I mean, we've got pretty much everything. Can't find a good pullover anywhere, so like, it'll just be a case of upgrading stuff, and then towards the end of the year, we're going to put a mess floor in, and then obviously put the cardio stuff up there with a posing room, and then that'll free up some more space to get some more kit. But yeah, at the minute we're about to put an office in.
Where are you putting that?
Literally, as you come in
above the toilet.
No, we're going to just switch. It's going to move over to where the sofas and stuff are now. We're just going to have an office and staff it a bit, so it'll be open during the day, as opposed to just member only. But yeah, in terms of kit, we've got no plans to. I mean, I still always look for stuff if something pops up, but I think we're pretty much covered.
Yeah, decent.
One that I think we asked this last time, but I think it's always interesting asking what people have to say. What would be your biggest piece of advice for someone who's beginning? Or if you could go back and give yourself some advice.
I think biggest piece of advice is learn how to train hard before you do anything else. Too many people now have got the most complicated training plans, but they just can't do the business in the gym. And I think I see it a lot with clients. They literally follow the plan. Every box is ticked. Yeah, did that 30 minutes to cardio. Every meal hit. Did my set. Did my training. But there's no intensity in the training. And I think really, really change your physique. Whether you want to build muscle, obviously it's a necessity. But even in terms of burning fat, like just ticking the boxes and just going through the motions and having your meals isn't good enough. If you really, really want to affect change in your physique, you will see a massive difference by training with some intensity. And people think they train hard. What I would say is find someone who is notorious for training hard. An Ant Bales would be perfect. Pay for a session. Learn what hard training is, what it feels like, and then just look to replicate it every single session. So many people these days are focused on either logbooks and increasing numbers, doing this, doing that, and when should I structure my exercises? How many days rest should I have? And then you see them in the gym and it's just shit. Like, there's like, there's 2 or 3 more reps there, mate. Or and people just can't push to where they need to push. So I think that would be the first thing. Literally, just if you want to be a bodybuilder or a physique athlete, learn how to train hard. Like, then learn how to train smart afterwards. Well, that's the problem. Like, back in the 90s, I think everyone used to train like an idiot. And it was so intense when people got hurt. And then the saying came out, train smart, not hard. People just stopped training hard. Like, I'm being smart. Like, you're being a pussy. Like, at least they don't mean, like, stop training hard. They just mean, like, you can still train hard with correct form.
Yeah.
Like, but people are just, like, missing reps. Oh, that was it. Yeah, I'm done. Like, I don't want to push too hard. And I think that's where most people do go wrong. They just lack in the gym. Any good level bodybuilder, if you watch them train, they're on a different level in terms of intensity.
That's one thing they've all got in common. Of any era, of your training style, your training split, it's the intensity that the top bodybuilders all produce.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
That's the thing that runs through them all.
Yeah.
And I think some people just have just got it. Some people are a little bit sadistic and they enjoy the pain. And they probably don't even think, that was horrible. Like, they enjoyed it, but they went to the limit. And there's some people that have just got something that stopped them even getting close.
Yeah.
I think it'll take a while, but it can be trained into you. But you've got to experience it. You'll never know. I ask anyone, I go, do you train hard? Yeah, of course I do. And then you go, you don't. But they think they do because they just haven't been taught otherwise.
Yeah, there's always a next level, isn't there? There's always
I say I train really, really hard, like really, really hard. But if I go and train with, like, if I go and train with Matt, and I went and trained with Dorian, I had a session with Dorian, and like there's another step up, whether it's just having or not having that extra 30 seconds rest between a set and getting back in. Like, there's always a little manipulation when you train where you can step it up a touch.
Absolutely. Awesome. Joe, got one?
Yeah. It's a simple one. It's not quite as interesting as that. Someone has commented, Jay versus Dorian. Whose physique do you prefer?
Jay.
Or Dorian,
Jay, Dorian. Jay's my favourite bodybuilder. If like we're talking about like everything, I don't think in terms of just bodybuilding he's the best bodybuilder to have lived. But in terms of like personality, what he's done for the sport, how I see his physique. So I think out of the two, if I was going to pick, I'd pick Jay. Sorry to any Dorian.
Easy enough.
Let
me check on.
I think I do agree to extent that, like, I feel like Jay was probably one of the most overlooked Mr. Olympias in memory, just because of the caliber of people he was competing against. He's tried for years to try and overtake Ronnie. I feel like that's like, as a result, he gets played down quite a lot.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, how many seconds did he have? If Ronnie wasn't there, he's got a shitload of Olympias. And Ronnie, in terms of Ronnie is the greatest bodybuilder ever. Like, in terms of just pure bodybuilding. And I don't think
on stage, 100%.
I don't think there will ever be another Ronnie, like, ever. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding probably peaked at Ronnie in terms of what he brought. I think you'll get something as good but different.
Yeah.
But in terms of just actually sheer size, like just the way he trained, just
he was Mr. Olympia in the gym as well as outside the gym.
Yeah, he was just, and he's just hilarious as well. Like, he's just got it. Like, he'll get off figure, he's just laughing. Like, it wasn't hard to him. He pushed to the limit, and then he just flicked the switch, did his set, turned it off again. Like, he didn't give a fuck. He was just like, but no one would, like, you won't out-train him. Like, he did. When people say, oh, you need to lift heavy weight and do high volume, he is that example.
Yeah.
Like, he was just
He was
unbelievable.
doing the best of both.
Like, just so strong. Like, just fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then I think on stage, no one could touch him.
Yeah.
Until they obviously
Close.
started getting, like, nerve injuries and stuff.
Yeah. Who do you think
Got another one
to Ronnie? Do you think, like, is there anyone who trains close to as hard as he did? Dorian?
To Ron?
Yeah.
No, I think Branch Warren was a bit crazier.
Yeah.
A little bit more insane. But nah, I don't think there's anyone that's like on Ronnie's level.
It's like people overlook that as well. And I think it's because he made it look so fucking easy.
Oh yeah, well, it probably was a fucking freak.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not like screaming his head off or anything. He's just having a dance, and they're like, "Oh, he's not training hard. That's just Ronnie." Like, you know.
I think he played a style that people now that say, "Oh, they think that they do the same lifts as Ronnie."
Yeah.
Don't train like Ronnie. Like, yeah, he might be throwing up some 200-pound dumbbells, but he'd probably just done a set of 10 of the 190s, the 180s, and the 160s. Whereas in this, people do 2 reps, 1 rep, then do a top set.
Yeah.
Where Ronnie would literally just go like 10 reps, 10 reps, 10 reps, 10 reps, and then he still had that in the tank. I think if he trained the way that people seem to nowadays, where they literally leave everything in the tank for that 1 rep, like, he'd have been like pressing ridiculous amounts.
Yeah.
I mean, you see him do high, like when he does his upsets.
Yeah.
Side lateral raises. I think he does he'll do like 10, 10, and 10 as he moves up. Then he'll go 5 pound heavier. 10. I mean, the volume is already done by. I think he's on 9 sets, and I think he's side lateral raise like 9-pound dumbbells. 9 to 10. Yeah. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
And his shoulders must have been absolutely fried.
Yeah.
But I mean, and deadlifting and squatting. I mean, that's just sheer strength. I think you can't. That way, he's just strong.
Yeah.
And his pure genetic capability to recover from that amount as well.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
He
also, that was the other thing as well, was like, he didn't feel, he had such a pain threshold as well. So like, I think I saw something, and it was like when he slipped his disc in his back deadlifting, or squatting or whatever it was, he didn't even notice for like most of the day until he was getting ready for work, and he like was putting on his like work top and was like, something in my back kind of aches, and then went to the doctors, like, yeah, you've slipped a disc in your spine. He just was like, oh, okay, just didn't even notice until that point.
I think he's so laid back, and you can't not love Ronnie.
Yeah.
And even now, like, he's still training harder than half the people on Instagram. He's had 9 surgeries. Like, he's still leg pressing.
Yeah, it's true.
It's passion, isn't it? I think I know the word intensity gets thrown around a lot when it comes to training, but for me, most people, they're too worried about filling in the boxes, like the passion for actually going to the gym and training and reaching the point of failure. That's
you've still got to love it
now. Yeah.
It's like, I think that's why people that train hard do it. Like, there's a lot of people that they enjoy the side effects of their training. They enjoy looking good, or they enjoy getting on stage, and that's what they're aiming for. But not enough people love the process. Once you can really, really fall in love with the process, it doesn't really matter what happens come show day or anything like that. Like, that's just some people's opinions that are in front of you. Like, and you can be okay with that, whether you come first, second, third, or fourth. A lot of people they hate it. I did all that for nothing. And I think if that's your mindset, like, what do you mean you did all that for nothing? That was the best part. Like, now is why we do it. If competitive bodybuilding disappeared, I'd still be there training hard.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'd still want to be just like, some people look at you in the gym like you're mad. Oh God! Like, and to me, it's just normal.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point in getting on there and doing it if you're just going to stop halfway through? And then you get off and like, that was fun. Like, fucking hurt, but it was fun. Yeah. And I think if you can embrace it, and like, not, oh, fuck's sake, it's like leg day, or what shit, like fucking 8 legs.
Yeah.
And then people was getting a negative mind.
Fucking 8 legs.
So many people just do not enjoy the process of bodybuilding, or like,
yeah.
I love dieting, like, because I just love doing it. Like, even if the stage wasn't there, you'd still do it. But not enough people would. And I think they're the ones that they don't know how to train at.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think hardcore bodybuilding never died, because you still have the people that, even if Instagram and social media went away, or if it's here or not, they've still got the same amount of people that would push it.
Always rises to the
There's
top.
still the niche. Yeah.
There still always will be the niche.
Yeah.
It's like, speaking of that, I've got another question. It's like, what's your thoughts on the current state of British competitive bodybuilding, and who do you rank at the top?
Pro or amateur?
Professional. That's what they've asked anyway. So
I think it's the best it's ever been in terms of, I mean, obviously because of the way the ProCAD system has changed, it's allowed us to have a lot more current pros all at the same time. So I think, obviously, you've got Nathan, Luke, James, Samson. I think they're all very, very good. Hopefully, we see Sass come back.
Yeah. Come on.
Jamie Durago's looking very, very good going into.
Yeah. I don't know if he's going to go 212. I have no idea how. He looks huge.
Yeah.
He's only a midget, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I don't know what he weighs at the minute, but yeah, he looks phenomenal.
He looks insane, yeah.
So looking forward to that. Obviously, James Llewellyn is doing the Irish 212 as well. You think that 9 weeks out, 10 weeks out, seeing pictures of him, he's looking good.
Yeah. Flex going into the Open.
Gohals as well.
The Open, which I don't know how it's going to go. We had this discussion the other day, and I said,
I think it'll be good.
In terms of his physique, I don't think he's a top 6 Olympian.
Really?
But I think in terms of, because it's the IFBB, it's flex, I think he might creep in. Again, it depends who turns up.
Yeah.
Like if Phil comes back this year, he's down a place. Obviously, Rami's going to be there, and if Rami has a good showing at the Arnold, he's going to be down a place. We'll see. I don't think he's good enough back to front for an Open. He never was for 212, but he could hide it well in poses in terms of his back to front fitness.
Do you think that with the added mass that will, fingers crossed, come through? Do you think that'll be a thing, or?
I don't think you're going to see any added mass. I just think he's going to be fuller. I think
it's going to be like 218 or something.
Obviously, like listening to people, like he looks his best apparently at 220, whereas every time he's had to make 212.
It's dieting off muscle.
He's had to suck it down. But I reckon every time he's been on a 212 on a Friday night at the Olympia stage, I still think he's 220, 225 anyway every year, just like all of them are. But I don't know. We'll see. I think it'll be an interesting year.
Yeah.
They've got a really good Arnold's lineup.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Zach Khan as well, competing at the British, which is just cool to see, in my opinion.
Yeah, he did it last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. That seemed like Zach.
Fast prep or something like that. I think he prepped for like 6 weeks or something.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I think the British will be good, but I think in terms of like the comp, I mean, we've got Cuba making his pro debut, which I'm really excited to see.
Yeah.
I think in terms of the pros, like, he's the best it's ever been. I want to see
Is the Giant making his debut, or has he already competed at IFBB?
Yeah, he's doing the British. Debut. Hopefully, we get him on the show next week.
Yeah.
Who's it?
Cool.
Jamie Johal.
Jamie Johal.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing the British, isn't he? So yeah, I mean, I can't see past Luke for the British. I mean, to be fair, I don't know if someone might be coming from abroad, but I mean, in terms of British guys,
he is it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see anyone beating Luke.
The Asher's not doing the British, is he?
I wouldn't be surprised if he jumps in, though, to be honest, because he's going to be in shape for the Arnold. We've seen him do New York, change his physique in a week, come down for California.
Yeah.
I don't think he beats Sassan, but to the judges, he beat Sasan in what, 2018?
Yeah.
Did the same last year. So we'll see, but he likes to jump in shows last minute, and it wouldn't surprise me if he wants a bit of finish off unfinished business from last year when it never ended up happening. So
we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Right, lads. We've been going for over 2 hours. Definitely.
Yeah,
wow.
it's best to call it.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you so much, Matt, for coming on.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate that.
Yeah, it's been good, this. Hopefully we'll maybe do you want to come on again? Maybe a bit closer to your...
Yeah, always happy to chat about bodybuilding, lads.
All right, fantastic.
Doesn't have to be about bodybuilding, by the way.
Doesn't have to be, yeah. If you've got any more interests, feel free to throw them out there. While you're here, do you want to plug all your stuff, your gym, etc.?
Yeah, if anyone's ever in the area or fancy a day out, down to the gym, Muscle Flex. It's muscleflex.gym on Instagram. I think it's a good gym.
I can agree with that. You two will be coming down, visiting one day, won't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll be down for the show anyway.
Yeah, we'll be down for the Barbarian. So. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right then. Guys, thank you for watching as always. Please share, like, comment, let us know what you think, and we'll see you guys next week. All right.
Awesome.